What's up, people? Alright, so now I made a video in a really long time, and I'm sorry about that. Just had a lot of weird shit going on. Been dealing with a whole lot. Figured I'd make this video kind of explain a little bit why, and give a little bit of insight about what's been going on for me this past year. Yeah, in 2 days, it'll have been exactly a year since I pretty much was forced to restart. Like, start over on everything. And I'm gonna give you the timeline on that. December 22nd, I move out. I get kicked out of pretty much my apartment where I lived with my once fiance, and after a little bit of debating, I end up getting the offer to live here where I live now with my best friend Ben, his mom, and a month later, the woman who was my fiance, who said that we would work things out and get back together, decided she falls in love with another guy, and then just kind of up and then you're done. So then I lose her. A month after that, in February, the Camry that I was so very proud of and bought and was still making payments on gets hit on my way back from someone else's house, and I lose that. So that ends up putting me pretty much in the position of having absolutely nothing, because without that, all my money went to that, so all my money was gone. I was living here. I had no girlfriend. I had no car. Absolute dick. And then pretty much for the remainder of this year, that's pretty much where all my life's been focused on. Is one, dealing with the roaming depression that comes after losing a fiance, a car, an apartment, and a lot of your money. You shut the fuck up. My phone went off. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, there's all of this that happens, and then kind of just out of nowhere, I start wanting to die. Like, I get really big into like thinking depressing thoughts and stupid shit, and after making quite a few adjustments in my life and a lot of terrible decisions, it gets to the point where I kind of just run out of shit to do. Like, I kind of run out of ways to keep myself going and thinking, so I just start being like, okay, I'm just gonna float along in life until I get hit by a car. And then a while back, that's when I started making the videos, but I still wasn't happy. I still couldn't deal with everything that was going on. So after a while, I just kind of like, fuck it. I stopped with the videos. I stopped kind of focusing on what I was doing with the videos, and everything just kind of went to shit. And from there, we fast forward to earlier this month, or maybe sometime at the end of last month. Anyway, not that long ago. I get what I would assume would be an epiphany, but is, on honesty, just kind of somebody bringing me back to my senses. Because, as long as you people know, I have this really weird mind where shit's kind of running in circles, and as much as I try to fix shit, it always just runs in circles in my mind still. I can't get the goddamn. And as two people wondering about the wardrobe change, reasons. Aha. Anyway, everything kind of gets put in front of me real quick. Talking to somebody who has increasingly become a lot better for me than initially thought. This person just kind of threw shit in my face. It's like, hey, fucking look at this. This is where you're at right now. Where do you go from here? And I know that wasn't exactly what she said. It was just in the conversations we had that was just kind of bringing that up and putting it in my mind that I've been avoiding. As much as I've been thinking I was solving things, it just kind of went into I was avoiding things. And from that, I now got to the quote that she wrote out. And I didn't necessarily understand it at first. Like, when she first told it to me, I was like, that sounds really cool. It didn't register in my mind about what exactly it meant. And it took me a few days later to realize that quote was exactly what it meant. That quote brought in everything into a whole new perspective for me. Because while I spent the majority of this year looking at the shit that I've lost, things that I will never get back, and how my situation has just gone from where it was to where it is now, I never took much time to look at it in a positive note. I mean, I did have my brief stints where I would, but it never stuck around. But when I got a hold of that quote, and I thought about it, like really thought about it, it made sense. I was so focused on having this one goal, I developed tunnel vision. And I stopped being able to notice that all these things going on around me, all these great things that have been going on around me were fucking happening because I wasn't at that goal. But when I realized that shit isn't so bad, that there's no reason to be this depressed and this, suicidal and stupid. Everything is okay because I've now gotten a second chance to fix that life that I hated so much, that I built on so many really weak constitutions. I now get a chance to pretty much start over and do better with it. And be appreciative of all the shit that I have. Like, I mean, it could have just straight up went... I mean, the breakup was bad in and of itself. Right? Let's not get that wrong. It was a fucking fucked up breakup. On both ends. But it could have been so much worse. My situation could have ended so much worse. But instead of ending up homeless, super suicidal, I could have caught her fucking some other dude who kicked my ass out of the house that day and not gotten any of my shit. But instead, what I got was everything she could provide for me from that house that she didn't need came with me. I was able to get my clothes, I was able to get my posters and things I drew up behind me. I had enough money to get the bed, have a TV, my PlayStations, all my other stuff, this laptop still. And I was able to keep all that and go from living in someone else's house to now this is my house. I'm part of this household. I have my own room, and this actually is my room. I'm not just renting it out. This is part of my room. This is my room. And although, I don't have a car, I've learned how to live without it. I've learned how to start, go walking, go on my bike rides, go do whatever it takes to get out of the house and be physically exercising. And that comes along with being able to stay in shape while I eat like a fucking idiot, where all I eat is like burritos and shit from Circle K. And anyway, I can now appreciate a little more about exercising and stuff like that. And I can have the body that I have. And I went from having a shitty job at Sprouts where I wasn't getting anywhere and I was pissed off and tired all the day, now having the call center job I have now at Synergy, thanks to Kelly, and are making more money than I could have. I would say about twice as much money than I would at Sprouts now. And I have enough money to afford things that I want, random shit that whether I need them or not, I can fucking have them. And still have enough money left over to cover all my bills and cover everything else, even new expenses I didn't know were going to happen. And I'm never too terribly tight on money. I mean, I do have my issues now and again where I don't think things ever all the way through, but things actually have gotten really good. And it took me, a year or so. Fuck it, I had a status up a little bit, but it took me about a year to figure out this, to figure out that shit's not that bad. Everything is okay. And it's just crazy to think that it took me that goddamn long and to make so many fucking mistakes over this past year and slide in and out of being, the emotional roller coaster that I've been on for a long time. To not have a better idea of where I'm going to go, and now I can, and that's kind of why I took a little break from videos, because when you hit one of those kind of realizations, you're just kind of like, and you lose your shit. But I will be making videos again regularly. I will attempt to. I do still have some other ideas I want to go off of that list, and I do still have, there's still me getting into pro wrestling. As far as that happened in 2015, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but there's still me getting into pro wrestling that I'm going to look forward to becoming an author. At some point, going back to school, some point. Stop hounding me about it. At some point, I'll go back to school. Getting a motorcycle here soon, because I need a fucking motorcycle. But yeah, like I said, I'll be making more videos here in a little bit. I've just been so focused on all this that it hasn't happened yet, but trust me, by next week, either by next weekend or the weekend after that, I probably will be making better videos. But I mean, this next weekend, I'm going up to Flagstaff with my buddies, and I'll probably be doing videos when I'm out there with all them. I'll be shooting shit, and I'll probably just edit and put it up, you know, that Monday. But yeah. But so to everybody who watches this video, thank you for watching and sticking around for like the weird videos I've made. There will be more to come, and I hope you guys enjoy what's gonna happen next. See you in the future.